Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Martinez, and I am excited to talk about Module 1. We have here the traditional demographics or personal demographics. Um, After reading, these are my typical demographics, but I felt like I should probably start with a little bit more of a story. So, growing up in Topeka, Kansas, I became interested in Spanish, majored in Spanish, and through kind of a windy road, ended up being a Spanish teacher for about 17 years. I met my husband along the way, and we have three kiddos who we do not speak English to, which has brought a lot of interest to us from people who we know who are English speaking families. Um, Last year, I had the opportunity to travel around the state of Kansas with the Kansas Teacher of the Year team. And it was really, really interesting to visit so many other school districts and see how so many other districts work together, and how they function or don't, and talk to a lot of pre-service teachers at the same time. At the end of that, I had the opportunity to interview and was accepted to be the assistant principal in an internship role for this year at an elementary school here in Kansas called Scott Dual Language Elementary here in Topeka. It's actually the school that my own children attend. So, because of all of my equity and advocacy work that I have done, especially in recent years, coming from a very low minority district and school to a very high minority, they're the majority, district and school. It's been a really cool road to see that whole thing come full circle, and I feel like I have a lot to offer. These are my crazies. That's what I call the kids. So there I am in the middle. My husband Luis, and then my son Louis, who is a fourth grader. Then Gianni, who is a third grader, and then Malinai, who is a first grader. This was at back to school night this year. So into our content questions. The forms of communication that we use as a school, lots of person-to-person communication, site council, PTO, teachers to parents, support staff to parents, administrators to parents. I have a lot of conversations in my morning duty in the pickup line or after school in the drop-off line. So I'm really proud about all of the face-to-face or person-to-person communication that we have. Several times a week, I will send out anything that needs to be sent out quickly to all of our families via the Messenger app. I can broadcast emails or text messages from that. SMORE, I think a lot of people are aware of. It's a newsletter generator. So I create SMORE every week. We have an on-site translator and interpreter. Even though I do speak Spanish, we want to make sure that everything is really, really clean, concise, and super professional that we put out. So we really work together to create that publication. We put that on Facebook. We also use Facebook just for announcements and things like that. But I'm in the process of putting together a social media team so that we can expand our social media presence, both for more family engagement and also to educate families and also promote our school. We are looking into TikTok, Insta, and Twitter. So I'm pretty excited about what's to come in terms of communications on the socials. District communications to families, bi-monthly, they put out a newsletter to families that has district resources in it. It's nicely done. They might have a magazine. I did switch districts with this job, and so there are a lot of things I'm still getting to know and understand. We have a school website. I personally think it could use some work. I am supposed to get trained on how it is built and how it runs and what we can and can't do. And then, so that's kind of a to come. But it is up and running, and it has the calendar on it and things like that. Importance of introductions. What stood out the most to me with importance of introduction was a name and a story, and that your story should communicate your why or your purpose of being there. Communicating, especially me as an outsider coming in to a school that has a dual language model, so something unique. I really felt it was necessary for me to communicate my value to them, like why I deserve to be there, why they could trust me, and let them know some of the things I'm very passionate about, because I'm basically obsessed with the school. So I also felt that there were areas that I have a lot of expertise in, especially in the way of language acquisition and how the language pathway works, that they might not have as much expertise in. So it is a problem or a bucket that I could fill that would help support the whole thing. The district communication policy, there is certain language set out for us in the norms for administrators. This includes emergency messaging, quotes that may be used in email signature. You can't just pick your favorite quote and put it at the end of your email. They do the SMORE newsletter subscriptions for every building, and then there's a SMORE that goes out every Tuesday to principals only that we're expected to go through, and then there's certain things we have to share to certain people. Last but not least, when we do post things on social media, we have to use all of the appropriate hashtags and tags in order for them to be able to see what we are up to and also share so they don't miss anything. So the correlation, I really related a lot to this assignment. It correlates to learning objective because it explores the improved introductions and means and modes of communication within my school and community. It explores a variety of means of communication, including oral, written, verbal, and the combinations there within. In terms of relevancy, it was very relevant. It allowed me to explore the various ways we communicate with staff and families, and it gave me an idea of what we could improve on. This assignment also confirmed that we do have some solid systems in place, but also gave me a lot of good ideas about simple things we could do to improve upon our current system, or even resources we could use to support those improvements. And last but not least, the reflection. This assignment is something that I'm reflecting on today, but then I think will be something I utilize for a long time going forward. The two most impactful and intriguing pieces of the assignment were how to approve introductions and why. I feel like I am always a little awkward at introductions, and I am also a pretty friendly, connecting type of person. And so getting better at that introductions piece would really, I'd be interested to see how much better I could be at that. So the ways that administrators can communicate to staff was also really interesting to me. I'd like to go back and read again several of the articles because I liked how they were sectioned out. I liked how the examples were easy to read, very clear. And I think there were a lot of really good ideas that would be super easy to apply and then even discuss with my principal. I will definitely be a better leader for having completed this module because I was able to identify areas of curiosities and weaknesses that I would like to continue to work on. Thanks for watching. Bye.